I'm gonna go through some of the photos that I. You know what's weird is when I get into editing, I don't think that it shows up on your screen, which is weird. But we'll look through some of these photos. If I edit them, I think I can show them side by side, but I'm not sure about that. All right, let's go through this wedding here. Here I am, crouched down, F4, 6400 ISO. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Should be able to. Have everything turned up all the way, pretty much. All right. So here's the ring bearer, and I'm in Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom. I know it looks grainy when I zoom in because I'm at 6400, but you can reduce the grain a little bit in Lightroom. So about 800 and something. I think I took about maybe 1200 at this wedding or so, maybe 1500. That brings it to about maybe 2,000 to 3,000 images that I can look through in 2 to 3 hours. But we'll just do an hour here. So I turn on flagged over here, and that shows me the one that I picked, and I'm just hitting P for picked, and it gives me this, you probably can't see it, but it gives me a flag. So let's get to the next. And usually I pick a couple of these. If they're blurry, I don't keep them. These are, I missed the sort of focus on that because it's tough when there's sort of light behind them, but this one's in focus. Excuse me for cracking my neck. All I want is for people to smile as they walk down the aisle, but not everyone smiles, so I still pick them anyways so you can see them. And I'm crouched low, you can see the blur over here. Because he's shorter, you kind of want to shoot these a little bit when ring bearers come down. You want to kind of crouch down, you don't want to be shooting down at them. So I get low or crouch down behind something. Allows the focus to get a little bit better than standing up. So I don't think you can see when I selected. Those are blurry, that one's in focus. So I am shooting just a whole bunch. I mean, we had, what, 10 or so, and I got a few of them correct. So you're just trying to look for one, but I usually just kind of give them, it's easier for me to give them more than less. So I like this one too. And this one, he's actually smiling, and you get some of the behind you. I am shooting, I believe these were shot at RAW. Hang on. Yeah, CRT is RAW, so this is a good. I was shooting with Flash too. It will show me also on my settings over here. Did fire. So 580EX2 on my Flash, just set to auto. Now when we turn this on, we get all those photos that I just picked. This is the walk. And what, I'm gonna go to develop real quick. I don't think you'll be able to see it at this moment, but I don't know why that is. It used to work. Gives me more flexibility with shooting RAW. I can do some adjustment of, but I like them a little warm when I edit the photos. Might need to be a little bit brighter. Might look a little warmer for you on there, but it's not as warm as it is. All right, let's get back to looking through these. This one, she's smiling. As long as like one person's smiling, I'll take the photo. What I can do is I can crop this way down here, but I usually shoot like a wide shot and then it comes into a close-up as they're walking, so they're getting closer to my camera. I'm at 70 millimeters, so this is a 24 to 70 camera I'm shooting with. This is Adobe Lightroom, so you see that these are a little bit dark. I can go into the exposure and bump them up, and then adjust the white balance if I want. But again, I like it a little bit warm when it's inside because it looks a little cold if I don't keep it somewhat warm. And then I can crop it down and bring it closer. I'm at f4, so he's sharp, she's sharp. Of course, you have that grain going on, so I'll bring it into like a noise reduction over here on the right. And then maybe sharpen it up just a tad. She still seems a little bit not as warm. You guys probably can't see this until I flip it back, but that's sort of what I would do with that photo. I brought it back to you so you can see it. And I'm eating peanuts. It's like an ASMR stream. Again, I don't love the processional or recessional, whatever they call this. It's okay, but I don't love it. But you gotta do it. So we'll hit P for that. He's not really looking in these other ones. This one's kind of a nice one too. See how like now we're closer to the action? Like this is a real good one because we get, her eyes are sharp. He's looking too. I'm fine if they're both not smiling. It's hard to get both of them smiling, so. I think this was like the mother of the groom or bride or something. I don't know everybody at the wedding, so. As long as you can get them kind of like their eyes up looking. Some of these, as I transfer them, so I'm retransferring the photos. Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop. Lightroom allows you to lay out all the photos and go through them at once. Photoshop, you just open at once. So after you go through Lightroom and brighten them up a little bit, you then have the option to bring it into Photoshop and make it even better. Of course, some of these photos, they're not gonna print, they're just gonna have. So I don't spend a lot of time on all of them. Because again, I'm already about, this is probably my, I went there for 4 hours. I was there early. Half an hour to drive there. I was there early, so there's an extra hour for them really, because it took me an hour to get home, so an extra hour and a half. So I'm about 5.5 hours into this. I shot for 4.5 hours. And it took me half hour there, half hour back. And now I'm gonna spend another, whatever, few hours to look through them and then edit them as well as I go along. Right now I'm just kind of picking out the best photos. I don't love these photos, but you got it, like some of these ones where they're not really smiling. Some of these got corrupted in the transfer. This is a photo of one of the guests. There's a nice photo of the bride's daughter walking down. So we'll just skip some of these. When I transfer them better, they won't be corrupt like that. I don't know why they got corrupted, but they did. Here's a fun one of one of the guests getting all into dancing. I'm retransferring the photos right now because a few of them in transfer didn't come over very well. So here is the groom and his best man as she walks down the aisle. He's smiling in that one, so that's a good one. Let's keep going. Gotta sort of skip those. I don't know if I need to keep giving those photos. Here comes the bride. Kind of like that photo, maybe throw it in black and white or so. Again, there's like 900 photos here. This was like the tail end of the wedding. So the wedding started at 10. I was there at 9:30, and this was at 2. So it was like the last few moments of the wedding. I don't know what happened to these ones. There's a good smiling one though. That's a good one once it transfers better. That's a good one too. I don't know why some of these didn't transfer, but there's a good kiss shot. You know, when it comes to wedding photography, it's like, it's not so much the photographer as, you know, the guests and how you kind of make your wedding. So if I understand why I picked that one and then it went like that, I guess we won't select that then. So, I mean, I am trying to get a reaction, but it looks like she was crying earlier, so there isn't really a smile going on, which, I mean, that's your whole purpose. You want to get emotions. Hopefully this comes over correctly. So it's really only as good as you make the wedding. So if you don't have flowers or don't have this or don't have that, I'm not saying they don't, but I'm always trying to get a reaction from them, whether it's a smile or I do kind of like this one, even though there's not, well, it's a little corrupt, but I could zoom in. That one's like slightly blurry. Again, I'm at 6,400, 200th of a second. I like the other ones I took of this shot where he's like smiling, so we'll keep that and we won't use a serious one so much. I'm eating peanuts right now. I could probably sharpen this one up a little bit. It's a little blurry. I do like this one because she's in frame there. Kind of like lower right. So I was kind of at the middle, or I was at the middle of the church, and as she came, I took her, and then I turned, and then I followed her. That's kind of what I want to do from weddings from now on, but then the handoff is tough to get when, that's actually a better one. I might get rid of the other one. That one's super clear. There's the best man. I don't love when people have their phones out, because you can see. I just wish they would enjoy the moment, but that's not the case here. This one just kind of shows the back of the dress. Again, this wedding was on Saturday. I'm just trying to get them some photos, or all the photos, by the end of, like, this weekend. I don't know if I love this photo, but I'll take it now. Usually if I'm indecisive, I take it and then maybe throw it out later. That's a good photo. There's a good smiling one of the groom. This one kind of shows the train. Another smiling good one of the groom. I just wish her reaction was just kind of, I don't know. I sometimes just get like a shot of them looking down at the paper. Sometimes I get like what's on the paper, but I didn't for this one. I don't know if that one's better than the other one. We'll take a look at both. Here's a nice cheers shot, kind of. I'll take it, but I think I have a better one. These photos transfer better this time. I had like two things transferring at the same time, so that could have been the problem. Here's a kiss shot. We can just take the hit R on our keyboard and crop in to get rid of that down there. So I was able to get that at the right moment. The kiss, I think that was the mom, I'm assuming. She's bringing her down, right? So I did get the cheers, but it's not correct yet. It's a nice smiling one of the groom. I felt like I got a lot of good ones of the groom. So this is with a 70 to 200, so I'm with the telephoto lens. I don't know if I'll grab that shot, but I will. Actually, this one is X that one out. So just hit X on your keyboard if you're rejecting it. So there's a good, maybe I'll grab both of these. That one was good if we can get the file back. So I'll go through all these and then I'll find the ones that were corrupted and get them back in the transfer. Let me know if you guys have any questions about photography or Lightroom. This is Adobe Lightroom Classic. It's a subscription based, where you get Lightroom, Photoshop. I'm getting these crumbs Phones everywhere. There's a priest giving the blessing. Sorry. Maybe I shouldn't eat nuts while I'm talking to you. So we've looked through about 170 photos and give you a time stamp here. $20 minutes. So about 200, 2, 4, 6, 8. Very nice. Thank you, Janet. There's the ring bearer again. Oh, that's because I went back. I kind of like this photo of the mom, like smiling. There's the priest giving the blessing. I do like this photo. So he's giving the blessing and they're looking down. This is at f3.5 ISO 5000. I do like this photo too. It's a little bright, but nothing you can't work with. So again, you're seeing all the photos that I took pretty much at this wedding. And I'm eating peanuts. If you want to check out my website, go to Jason's Photography. The link is up top there. JAYSONS. I have a photo shoot on Saturday. It's like family photos and baby photos and stuff, or like pregnancy photos. Hopefully we're not slowing down here. I like this one a little bit better than the other one. She's very sad, not sad, but here's sort of a wide shot. You kind of want to do this to kind of give the idea of where it took place and how many people were there. So I take that. Just a nice portrait here of the daughter, like kind of teary-eyed, taking a moment. Sometimes I take a few of these. I like this one because she's cheersing, so I'm just focused on the eyes. Usually always focus on the eyes, but then I switch the focus. I think they call it like rack focus to the cup. And I'll find the uncorrupted one. Here's sort of a shot from outside the doors, which I kind of like. I did pop a little flash in there. We did go around to each table, so I do have those shots as well. I told you the first wedding that I ever shot, I got sick because they had so many photos that I took and I didn't know how to go through each one of them. And there's this photographer out in California by the name of Tim Halberg, Halberg, I believe it is. And he told me to use this program to go through all the photos. So I started using this program. It's sort of a muddier photo of that one we saw before, but I'll take it anyways. I really don't love table shots, but we did do them rather quickly, so I can probably brighten this one up a little bit. They kind of just stood next to each couple or each person that was there. So there's sort of a smile for them. I don't know if I can switch this to the editing mode. It does say window capture. Lightroom shadow means. Yeah, that doesn't show anything, so I gotta get back to Lightroom. I wanted to show the editing, but we're gonna keep going through these. Probably won't do it too much longer, but I don't know if you guys want to see a full wedding, but this is how I do it. You have to look through every photo that you took and pick out the best ones. It's a good one. There's sort of a photo behind them. We'll try to get to like 400 or 500 here. Probably at like 300 at this point. Probably work till lunchtime or so. What's up, Patrick? How are you? Happy day. Happy day. I was saying before, some of them got corrupted coming over when I transfer them, so there's really, it was just in the transfer. So I'm retransferring the photos. I got about 3 minutes left. We're going to be doing more of these going through photos and stuff, because I do love photography. Something just went boo-doo-doo. I don't know what it was. Check my iPad. So yeah, we're gonna do a lot of Disney photos and stuff like that, because I have a ton of Disney photos that we still gotta kind of go through and edit, and it's fun to do it live for sure. Just another thing I like to do is like be where the crowd is. I think I have a better shot of this. I take a few during these when we go around, make sure everyone's eyes are open, maybe 3 or 4 or 5, because say this one's a little bit better. It's not as blurry as the other one. I was shooting at 200th of a second, which is kind of fast, ISO 6400, to give me some light in there. The higher the number, the more you're getting for light, but then it gets grainy on the photo, so it's the sensitivity of the photo. So you see when I zoom in, I get a lot of grain. But then Lightroom allows me to remove some of it and then sharpen it back up. You can't really see it when you print it out though, but it's when you start zooming in and stuff, you're gonna see that grain. That's what ISO means, but you need to have a fast shutter speed, and then I'm shooting at f4 to make a little bit of this sharp. This will of course be blurry or bokeh. I think we already took this photo right there, but this lady's smiling in this one, so I might just give them both of those and then be done with that. This one I kind of like because she's just looking down smiling. Okay, we did those. And she looks up. So I do try to get different angles, which I didn't, when I first started I was very nervous, but now when I get the shot I kind of move around quicker. I might stay in the area for a little bit, but when I first started I would just stay in one area, not move as much. You got to kind of map it out though too, because this was a full mass, so I had time to kind of walk around. I don't capture the communion though. Sometimes I do like the peace be with you, I'll capture that, but not so much the communion. I guess I could ask them, hey, do you want the communion? I think I already grabbed one of these. She's actually smiling, okay. Let's see how many photos we've looked through. We're at 252. So not bad. Joanne, what's up? Kristen, what's up? It's a program called OBS, Open Broadcast Source. So anything that's USB, so my camera's up here on a tripod, shooting down at me, which is on, there's a little thing on the bottom of them, that's a Logitech 920, I believe it is. It's on a tripod over here, hooked up USB. Then when you download OBS, it allows you to show your screen. Of course, I don't know why it's not letting me go to develop so you can see develop, but you can see, you can choose Lightroom. So I have Lightroom open, so that's how I was able to choose that. You can do it with other things too. Like I have an adapter for my video games that goes USB and illiterate, yeah. So that's how I do all that. Just look up OBS, download it, and then you create a scene. LE. Lightroom? I think my thing just went down. Are we still live or no? I don't know. I don't know if I'm still live. We'll see. I think I'm still live. Okay. Lightroom. Oh, okay. You said LE, so I was a little... So yeah, there's this thing called sources. So you have a scene, and then in the sources you hit the plus button and it says add, and you go to add video capture device. Select your video capture device, which is the Logitech 920 or whatever you're using. Maybe it's a 600, whatever. And then you select, I think it was window capture for the second one. So you have two. And then of course you have to add your mic and stuff like that. So I've added my mic so you can hear me talk. So this is a nice one too. I think we've already grabbed those photos, so. I don't like when people look off. It's like, look at the camera, please. Sorry, I'm being critical. I shouldn't be critical. Those are just things that bother me as a photographer, but that's why I take like 6 at the table. Yeah, if you have any other questions, let me know. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on. I've kind of walked through what my setup looks like. I do have lights shining on me, so I'm illuminated, because it's better than just like some overhead lights. But yeah, this is Lightroom. I'm going through a wedding that I shot this weekend. I like to get the photos to them as fast as possible. I don't know, maybe I'll grab both of these because this girl is singing. Then they wanted this shot, but people are kind of hiding their faces. But I'll take it anyways. This is them just sitting. This was shot with, I believe this is a CRT. No, that was JPEG, which it should have been different. I don't know. Sometimes I give them a few of these just so they can be like, oh, my face was better in that one. So yeah, we'll work through lunch. I gotta figure out what happened with those corrupted files. Hopefully they come over better now. That was the daughter of the bride there on the left. I think the hardest thing coming into a wedding, you can change the photo background in library mode to black if the gray bothers you. I hate the gray. They dump in there. What gray? Oh, really? Library mode. Oh, the gray background. Is there a way? What is it under? Library mode to black. Is it in settings? I've never changed it, so. Oh, library, you're saying? Yeah, I don't know how to do that. You'll have to tell me which one. Right click on the gray to change it. Oh, right click to, oh, okay. I got it, black. Oh, cool. I didn't know that, thank you. Can you do it on all these or just on the background? Yeah, the black works. I don't know, I kind of like gray. So now I'm up at the altar. I photographed the lady singing. I kind of kept these candles blurry. I'm at f4, 6400. Thanks for that tip. I'm gonna probably show all the things that I photograph from now on. Like when I go to Disney, we'll do it's just shooting them in the pew there. See, some of these got corrupt, but I'll get them back because I'm the actual so much better on the eyes. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Thank you. All right, Kristen, we'll see you. So I'll probably stop a little bit at like 12 something. This one I was on the actual ground for that photo. This one's a good one, kind of. This one's a little strange, but it's like a little weird for them to go around. Everyone's trying to eat and they're like, hey, we need a photo of you. And they're like, I mean, it is kind of nice. I usually don't do it all that much, but I'm shooting these at f4, f5, or 4.5, so they're not all blurry, but I am focused on this lady. Again, I don't know everyone at these weddings. I just show up, they pay me the money, and then I have to find out who they are. But I am more vocal than when I started. I remember getting yelled at like a 50th wedding anniversary. They're like, this guy yelled, I think he was drunk. He's like, you gotta get these people in line. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. This guy yelling at me. Okay, buddy. I was like afraid to look at my camera to make sure I got the photo. I got the photo though, apparently. I guess I was really good back then. That was like my first gig. I think I made like $50. This guy yelling at me, he's drunk. 800 number, thank you. No thanks. So June 22nd, 2019, you see that it was just the other day. I guess I'll get a few of these photos. I don't even know if that guy knew the groom. I think he knew the bride, because he said like he just got to meet them or meet him. Here's a close-up of that. They did the tables on a mirror, which I thought was interesting. I've never seen that. It's kind of looks blurry, but it's not blurry just because it's reflective. But it is kind of neat. There's my name over there. I've been to weddings where they don't even include the photographer, so it was nice that they included me at a table, which is the right thing to do, and it's to feed everyone at the same time, or the photographer first, so they can get back to work. We're not there for fun. We're there to photograph the wedding. So I have been fed at different times. I've been fed last. I've been fed without a table. So it's only right to actually feed the photographer or the help, not just the photographer. Okay, we're at about 315 photos. I'm gonna look through a few more here. I don't know what's going on with this photo. I probably have it a few times, like here. Oh, that's a nice one. I like that. Again, some of the photos got corrupted when I transferred them over, and I just transferred them again, so I'm gonna see if they're better now. Looks like they don't support this file at this time. I don't understand that. Few more here. I do like that with that background, looks nice. It's a nice one of him grabbing the rings. I'm gonna go figure out why these got corrupted in the transfer, and then definitely gonna edit these up for them and get them online for them to start viewing. I do try to get the photos back at a reasonable time, you know, as fast as I can. These people come first because they're paying the most, I guess. Okay. That one looks just like the other one. All right, I'm going to stop there because I'm going to find out why those got corrupted on the transfer and look through the other ones. But you see in that, I don't know, 43 minutes, I looked through about 400 images and picked out 100. So I'll try to get these to them by today. I'll probably look through more as well. I might come back online to figure out what happened to those corrupted files, and don't know why that happened. But this is a wedding I shot on Saturday. We went through in Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom. Gave you some tips on picking out the best ones if you're getting into wedding photography. Like I said, 400 photos, about 100, so they'll probably get a few hundred photos that I'll edit and then upload to my website. All right, I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. That's what I got going on today.